Here goes March 30th's pull day, starting off with barbell rows, 135 pounds. Pulling towards the hips. Just doing whatever I got to do to get those last reps in. But you notice starts out pretty good. The first more than first half of the reps, very little movement. But I like to keep the momentum going because it's 135 for me on this exercise is heavy. So that's just how I like to do it. So I'm going to do a drop set here. Get in the reps while still maintaining good form. The only thing I don't want to do on this exercise is when I start yanking it up to go, you don't want to go fully upright and turn it into an upright row. Then it's not hitting the muscles that a bent over row is hitting. Turns into a completely different exercise. So go with the drop set. Try not to take too much time. I already had a bit of a rest getting the plates off and on, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you're working by yourself. I'm still pushing it towards the end to get those last reps in. And after that, heading over to the cable pull downs. Got the mid-size grip here. Same thing, I'm keeping a little bit of momentum on my pulls. And another drop set here on the third set. So I haven't mentioned, but I have started taking certified personal trainer classes online. Just really only been at it 2 days now. So I'm still in the first section where it has learning material, but it's nothing, it's kind of introductory stuff. Explaining the field a little bit and the type of clientele that look for personal trainers and things involved with being a personal trainer. And it even goes over the current health state of the world, problems people face, like being overweight and obesity, things like that. And talks about heart conditions and high blood pressure, that sort of thing. And then just also where, once you get your certification, what type of jobs you could get. Different types of gyms there are. If you want to open up your own business or be a contractor with a gym or just be employed by the gym or, find your own clientele, go to their house, do it at your house, do it outside, that type of thing. I think it's like section 4, so I still got a little bit ways to go where it starts talking about weightlifting and different type of training, resistance training and plyometrics and cardiovascular and I think I already said resistance training, strength endurance or muscular endurance, and then muscular strength and power training. So I'm looking forward to read about all that. I'm thinking it'll help me a lot with my exercises. And then from there, I'm looking to get a personal trainer job. And also, I might start doing more instructional videos once I feel like I have more knowledge that literally credentialed knowledge or professional knowledge. Right now, I don't know if I've explicitly said this, but I'm not trying to give anyone tips. I'm not really trying to give specific advice. I started these workout videos a while back, about 2 years ago, just doing shorts. And it was just videos of me working out to music. That's it. I started doing these long form videos with more of my sets and then the commentary just to make it a little more interesting. Talk about my workouts. If people find useful information, that's great. If not, that's fine too. If a lot of people do disagree with the way I do things and things I say, that's fine. I'm not a professional. I just, using the knowledge I do have, whatever I learned in like middle school and high school, whatever I learned from other people at the gym, whatever I learned from online, and also not just, what I see on Instagram and Facebook or whatever, but doing Google searches, finding more credible sources, just for little tidbits of information. Also because I think even now I don't really feel I'm at a point to be giving advice, because I'm not, a lot of people would say I'm not really in shape. I carry a little more fat on my body than what's probably healthy, especially if you want to be in the fitness industry. I think you should have a certain standard of your overall health, and your physique can play a part into that. I have started watching what I eat more. Really only just the past couple months. I've upped my cardio a lot. But yeah, I haven't been eating like I used to kind of have a problem with candy. I cut that out all the way. I haven't eaten ice cream or anything. Just my, the meals I need for my protein and all that. I haven't started tracking macros. I'm not really too worried about it. I've upped my cardio and I try to eat healthy. Still lift. Do still drink beer, which I should probably cut out. But by the same token, I'm not really in terrible shape. And I could still run or on the elliptical, but I can run outside for miles at a time without getting out of breath. I do have a deviated septum, which gives me problems breathing. But even with that, I could run for miles, or at least jog, at around a 10-minute mile pace, maybe a little bit quicker, and not be out of breath. I could walk for, all day. So sadly enough, compared to some people that wouldn't even look at a shape, they either might just not like the activity, or they are They might not look out of shape, but they are out of shape and can't walk super far, can't jog more than 5 minutes without getting out of breath, can't lift heavy objects. And also I have seen, just because you're not in, well, let me put it this way. Well, so just because you're not in the best shape doesn't mean you're not in a position to give advice to people. Because if you think about, there's a lot of professional athletes that are getting training from people that aren't, and some probably never were, professional athletes. And then they also do get, training from people that were professional athletes, so they have somewhere to speak from. But at the same time, someone might just have more book knowledge, that sort of thing. So even though they're not, let's say basketball, if they're not competing at the same level as them in basketball, they still have good advice to offer. And I've just seen some personal trainers out there before that work at certain gyms. And, no offense, but I'm like, wow, there is no way that I would take advice from that person. Just, judging by how they look. They don't look like they really engage in physical activity as much as they should. But it's also kind of one of those things where they say if you can't do, then teach. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that is how some people end up in the teaching profession. I'm kind of trying to do a little bit of both. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm really excited to learn, take my knowledge, apply it to my lifting, and, improve. Keep improving. But anywhere there is the pull day.